Hey, this is Christian, and you're listening to the 5 Moves of Doom podcast, brother.
And now, the 5 Moves of Doom podcast and 5mod.com presents The 5 Mod Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, wow, that cut out quicker than I thought it was going to.
What an intro!
Wow, man.
What an intro!
Do you like it?
Oh, head banging.
For people that aren't aware, I surprised Jack with our new intro today.
They did.
I wanted to create that.
Sounded like Airborne.
I wanted to create that old school 90s, noughties WWE show opening.
Nostalgia.
Before we do anything else, I'm going to say a big thank you to Matt Lees, who did the voiceover for that one.
Oh, Matt Lees, you legend.
He's an absolute hero. He's going to be maybe working with us a little bit more in the future. Maybe even appearing on a certain curtain jerking show.
Yeah, boy.
For those of you who haven't worked it out yet, this is the 5 Mod Show brought to you by 5mod.com. My name is Ben. I am your host, and I'm joined by the ever-present, the ever-mindful, and the ever-balding.
Don't tell him that, man.
They can't see you, they don't know. It's my job to inform him. It's Jack, Rockstar Jack Dillinger, everyone.
Balding rockstar, man. Balding rockstar.
Oh, I ran out of an adjective, didn't I? I ran out of words, and that was the first thing that came to my head.
Balding rockstar. Hello, everybody.
I've put me in a bad mood now, right at the start of the show. What have you been up to, Jack?
I have been... Oh, what did we do this week, man?
It's been a tough week in wrestling.
It has been a tough week. Like, everyone's banging on about this wild card business. I was like, you know what I mean? It's like,
You know what I think they should have done? You know, let me get the links out of the way, and I'll tell you what I think they should have
Get
done.
these links out.
Right, so before we jump into anything, let me ask you guys to head over to your chosen social media platform of choice. Give us a search for us on there, Jack. Twitter, Facebook, come on, give us one, pay attention.
Hey, Twitter.
Twitter, follow us on Twitter at 5mod_podcast. Just keep up to date with everything that we are tweeting and talking about. Make sure, wherever you're listening to this podcast on, you drop a like and a subscribe on there, or a share, or a follow, whatever they call it. Where can they find us? iTunes. Make sure you follow in on there so you do not miss an episode of this or our brand new show, Curtain Jerking, where we break down people's dream pay-per-view matches. And in the meantime, before we come back next week, make sure you're following 5mod.com to keep up to date with all of your wrestling needs and more insights of these sexy beasts.
Balding, sexy beast.
Balding. Hey, just go full Baron, man. Go full Baron. Look how good Corbin looks after it.
I look like my dad.
Your dad's a very handsome man. I can't remember seeing your dad. I don't think I've ever met him.
I'd go from looking 37 to 77.
Yeah?
In the space of a haircut.
I mean, if we clean shave you as well, you'd look like a 12-year-old from, like, the nose down. What are we talking about? It's wild card rule.
Yes.
For people that haven't been paying attention, well, why aren't you watching Raw and SmackDown? What are you doing? But Vince McMahon brought in a rule this week that says basically 4 superstars from each brand can be invited to appear on the opposite brand each week. Doesn't have to be the same 4. Doesn't have to be like consistent. It's just that 4 people from SmackDown can appear on Raw and 4 people from Raw can appear on SmackDown at any given time. This is their attempt to battle ratings crisis.
Yes.
The ratings are going down and down and down and down and down, and this is Vince's latest idea of a way to sort of go, well, if anything can happen and anyone can turn up, people will tune in.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'm glad they've not got the GMs anymore, because that would make no sense then.
Yeah.
But now they haven't. It's just I just don't care. You know what I mean? Do you feel the same? Like, I just...
In terms of, what can we do to battle ratings, this is terrible.
Oh, yeah.
This is shocking. This is just so that they can keep Roman on Raw.
Exactly.
But, in terms of, anyone can turn up, I suppose you could get a few surprises out of it. Do you know what I mean?
I'm not sure, man.
The problem is, when Vince delivered this promo to announce it, he felt very much like he was making it up on the spot.
Yeah.
That was it.
I've noticed stuff from Vince is very
ad-libby.
He's very nervous and stuff.
Oh, he don't like being on
not-
TV anymore, does
he's not-
he?
He's very not Vince anymore. Isn't he?
So it's just a bit like,
Very not Vince.
I don't get it. What this if they right because there's also a rumor going around that Fox and USA, because obviously SmackDown's moving to Fox in the fall, and USA have currently got Raw and going to have Raw for the foreseeable future. Apparently, there's pressure on them. Not only are the ratings declining, there's pressure on them to increase the ratings.
Yeah.
There's also pressure because apparently both stations would like to see the end of the brand split. It's basically so that Fox aren't missing out on AJ Styles and Ronda Rousey and Becky Lynch, and USA aren't missing out on Roman and all the big draws. So with that in mind, surely they should have just done a massive invasion from one brand to the other. Let Roman lead SmackDown in an invasion of Raw.
If it builds up, yeah.
That's what I mean.
Definitely, man.
You know when...
If they should have done it at Survivor Series.
I think not Survivor Series, because we do SmackDown vs. Raw at Survivor Series every year. If they just take the next... then again, it would end at Survivor Series this time,
They
yeah.
had to.
Although, if you leave it 2 months and build to next year's Mania, slowly, month by month, with this SmackDown vs. Raw brand warfare, where not just, which can put on the better show, but that actually go and trying to destroy each one and build to next year's Mania.
Yeah.
I think that would be a great idea. You have to leave it a couple of months because Roman needs to sort of get his footing on SmackDown in order to lead.
That's the problem.
It would also make Roman a hero on SmackDown because we all prefer SmackDown.
You do.
We all prefer SmackDown. It's an easier watch than Raw.
My heart's with Raw, man.
Man, I get it, but it's easier to sit through 2 hours of
Oh yeah, SmackDown's
SmackDown.
that show.
It is.
That.
So with that, I just think they could do this. They could have McMahon leading Raw. Roman would look like the conquering babyface. They'd get him over even more so because I think it genuinely would get him over. You could have these amazing 1v1 feuds inside that. Have him square off against Seth, and Seth be like, "I really don't want to fight you. You're my brother, but you need to fuck off of Raw right now." And I think that'd be better because you'd have that sense of what the hell's going to happen. Before I say this next bit, ladies and gents, remember. We're grown up now, me and Jack, and we understand how bad it was, but at the time, we were 10 and 11. When you saw WCW invade WWE, it was exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, looking back...
Shane McMahon appearing on Raw in WCW was the most epic thing you've ever seen in your life.
And then the whole 5 of my guys, 5 of your guys, 10 of their guys. Oh, hang on, actually it's 15 on 5.
Yeah.
When they turned and made the alliance. Okay, looking back, it was shit. In retrospect, they didn't have the star power, they didn't have the thing. It was just a way to Vince to wave his cock about in WCW's face. But as a kid, it was exciting and it was fresh.
As a kid, because I didn't watch WCW at all.
No, me neither.
That was the first exposure I had to WCW or ECW.
Yeah.
It was the most breathtaking thing. I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
Because it did that right. Who's going to appear next?
Exactly.
And even stupid matches like okay, it ended up being WWE versus WWE in the end.
Yeah.
But
Looking back, you can pick massive faults.
yeah, but I think you could recreate that now, and at the end of it, no more brand split. Everyone across both. Give yourself time to write proper storylines. Give yourself time to write proper story arcs and proper segments. You could have Bray leading Raw. Bray and his mental dead rabbit. That escalated quickly, didn't it? Wow. But I just think that is the way to do it. Do a full-scale invasion, man. And just have that as your overarching story till next year's Mania.
Do you know what the idea I don't like that?
What?
I have got one problem with this. You say, end the brand split. Roman's in the main event with whoever.
Yeah.
He's going to be in the main event of Raw and in the main event of SmackDown the next night. It's like, nah.
But it
because the only thing you could do is like kind of make it a brand split, but don't make it a brand split. You know what I mean? Just
you mean after the brand the invasion?
That's what I mean.
At
He's
the
going
end
to be
of
on
it.
Raw and then SmackDown.
No, because you could. Yeah, he probably would be on both shows, but he not necessarily would be in the main event. It would depend on the story.
Like if they was 2 different shows still, and they mixed it up every week in week out, like the Roman segment, the Roman thing will go on SmackDown this week and won't be on Raw.
So what about you mean like sort of like rather than treat it as 2 shows, treat it as one 5-hour show, and pick it like if your Roman's in a segment, it goes on this spot out of the 5 hours rather than this one and this one.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
would work. You also, if you then got 2 shows that aren't restricted by the brand extension, is you've got the chance for more people to get on shows.
You have, but there is another problem.
What's that?
The titles are going to go.
I would say the titles would get altered. You would probably use the US, and we'll get some.
I hate the idea of 2 tag team titles.
No, you would amalgamate them into one. Same with the women. It also gives them a chance to put the women in the spotlight in a winner take all.
The women need a mid-card title, though.
Yeah,
that's the case.
I think in that case they would do, and I think you'd find the US title would drop down the ranks, and the IC would be featured more. The question would be whether they unify WWE and the Universal.
They'd have to, I think.
And they'd have to. The WWE champion would have to retain.
They just have to retire the belt.
Universal belt. Yeah, I think a win-win-win, mate. All I'm hearing, get rid of that Universal belt. Yeah. I think that's probably the way to do it.
That's the way you would do it, but obviously they haven't got this wild card thing.
Let's see where that goes.
Yeah. Could end up being the end of the brand split, as people pointed out. But
It's basically the end of the brand split anyway.
I think Vince is still holding on to it, or at least the company is. I'm not singling out Vince at all.
I mean, in terms of like a touring and the house show circuit, it does allow them to run 2 house show tours.
Yeah.
Like they've been in the UK and they were in Helsinki last night, and the rest of Europe.
Sweden.
Speaking of which, I'm going to Sheffield on Thursday night to watch WWE.
Ha! He's watching Raw.
You don't know that. We think it's going to be Raw.
Better be.
I'm gonna get. It's not. I'm gonna get a picture at ringside with Kyrie and be like, "Ha!"
I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait till the segment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell you what.
What?
Let's do the segment.
Right now.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Kyrie Watch. Oh, that was unexpected, but I'm always ready. This week, ladies and gents, she got let out by Paige.
Like a little shepherd.
Like a little twirl.
Come on, Kyrie.
Spinning a little the wheel. Can't remember what it's called. And as well as alongside Asuka, and Paige cut a bloody, gonna say a very naughty word then, crap rubbish promo on Absolution, which we thought the feud was
we
gone.
thought that was over.
We thought it was over, but it's not. So for the first week, I think they've completely botched this. It really let everybody know that Paige and these are not a good fit.
It's not working. Yeah, I'm agreeing with you now.
And I'm sorry, the faster Paige turns on them, the better, because they just looked like they shouldn't be there. You know what I mean? Like, because Paige was just, it's Paige's feud. Why are they involved? They were just stood there like,
they've been relegated to lackeys, haven't they?
Exactly.
To the henchmen, because she can't do it herself. What I will say is, Mania to Money in the Bank is very no man's landy at the minute. It's very murky. There's not real any direction. So just let's hope that after Money in the Bank, there's some sort of direction. Next week,
they're in a match with Evolution.
Absolution. With Evolution. Fucking hell.
I hope not. Big Dave coming back.
Randy Orton.
Oh,
Kyrie's going to get punted, mate.
You wouldn't dare. Anyway, they're in a match with Absolution next week, so hopefully this match will be good. This could be the turning point of Paige.
I mean, whatever happens, it's not the end.
It's not the end. No.
It's going to carry on.
And it'll be interesting to see what happens. If they job them out, then that's not the best thing to ever happen. But there you go. If Ben is in fact right, and it is SmackDown next week, when he goes to watch WWE Live, I don't know what I'd do. Another thing, because I get notifications from my dear Kyrie on my phone, and she was in Ireland the other day.
So she is on the tour.
She is on the tour. She was in Ireland the other day, and I got one about 2 o'clock in the morning. I was like, you know what? Damn, it feels so weird that she's finally on my time. It did. I couldn't believe it.
On your time.
Well, you know, English time. It felt weird. But there you go, ladies and gents. That was the 3rd installment of Kyrie Watch. Join us next week when I am going to be losing my shit and complaining to the high heavens.
How annoyed would you be if they lose to Absolution?
Can you remember the Lacey Evans loss on NXT? Can you remember?
Some blonde bimbo that's tall.
Wow, man. Wow.
They won't. I can't imagine they'll lose unless this is Paige.
Yeah, if
screwing
Paige
them.
turns, then fair enough.
I think she, like you say, I think she needs to because there's not a lot going on there.
No.
It's not like it's going to be a big betrayal, but it would just give them some sort of push and something to do.
Yes.
But meanwhile, get the Iconics doing something else. If this is the feud,
Yeah. Choose what they want to do.
get the Iconics doing something else. Get the Iconics over on Raw.
Yeah.
With Natty and Beth Phoenix. Get that program going.
Yeah.
You know what? Whatever. Just not this one. Then again, I bet the thing with the Iconics is all the women are in the ladder match, so it's sort of like let's get the ladder match out of the way. Then we'll start franking teaming some teams together, and we'll see what happens there. Very good, Kyrie watch this week.
Very
Right.
good. What? How? Just a completely random question, but when is Money in the Bank? Is it 2 weeks? Next week.
19th week today.
Oh my god. Sorry, ladies and gents, I'm moving away next week. On this day next week. or on Saturday. So.
Big changes at 5 Moves of Doom.
Yes. Don't worry, we'll still be here.
Oh yeah, you can't get rid of us. Right, guys. Usually we have a few different segments for you to talk about. A few different things happened. But this week, a very, very good listener of ours called Mike sent us a shed load of questions he'd like answered.
He was like, you never answer my questions.
Yeah, we answered everyone's questions apart from mine. Like, I was like, oh, okay, we'll answer your question. So we've dedicated the whole part of this episode to questions from Mike McPhail. He will literally not leave me alone if I don't mention he's the biggest Zack Ryder fan in the world, by the way.
Woo.
Oh, he is absolutely obsessed with the bloke. Right. Some of these are going to be a bit random. Some of these are going to be personal questions. Some of these are going to be about WWE. Some of these aren't.
Ready, man.
We're just going to go down this list.
Yes.
Question 1.
Question 1.
With AEW now agreeing what seems to be a major TV deal and having a big upcoming pay-per-view, does this mean that WWE needs to make some huge changes? If so, what should they do?
I think they should be prepared to pull the trigger.
On a massive brand invasion.
On a massive brand invasion. I agree. But I'd just wait and see what AEW does first.
Yes, yeah, let's see.
Let's not jump to conclusions.
If AEW comes on and it is not what everyone thinks it's going to be, and it looks subpar, the booking is bad, Cody loses a shitload of money, WWE will have nothing to worry about. But WWE do need to be ready in case it comes out and it is, oh my god, here we go again. The Monday night, whatever, the war is going on. It's going to be fantastic. We must stress that the rumour is that, then it is a rumour, that ITV have obtained the rights to put their the AEW weekly show on ITV4. Did you find?
Yeah,
did you see?
Well, they've got the box office deal.
Yes, that's definitely happening.
I just heard a rumour this week on Twitter that they've got the deal for a weekly show on ITV4. If that's the case, it's big news, man. It's impressive.
Do you know what is interesting? And I think it was What Culture I saw this thing on, is that ITV they've confirmed the deal for the pay-per-views.
Yeah.
But it's underneath their sports brand as opposed to their entertainment brand. To put that into context, World of Sport, which was their own wrestling company, was done under their entertainment brand. So that shows how much stock they might actually have in this. Not physical stock, I mean belief in this product. Everything seems to point to AEW actually being a massive success, but as our good friend at WrestlePlug said, Amir, when he appeared on Curtain Jerking, WWE have a 55-year head start on them, minimum. It's going to be years before there's any sort of legacy and history and value to what they're doing. Yeah. So let's not forget that. An initial ratings boost is an initial ratings.
Is the main championship going to be the NWA? Or that's a separate company now?
It is a separate company. Billy Corgan owns that. I think they'll have their own title. They've announced a match, which I think Mike is about to ask, as I see questions flashing up behind me. They've announced a match to find the number one contender for the first challenger for the champion, but they've not actually announced a championship match yet.
You'd think it'd be Omega and Jericho.
Yeah, but you
Omega's got Jericho's got
You can't just
his new
slam a
match now.
title onto there, can you? You've got to have some sort of reasoning. And if it is Omega or Jericho, it's just a bit like, oh, then we saw that coming.
Yeah.
Apparently, as well, just a little side fact, that even though Jericho is appearing at New Japan, there is still no working deal with AEW and New Japan. It is purely Jericho. Jericho said this week that there would be no AEW without him. I fucking love Chris Jericho.
But no, I'd definitely just have something in the back burner.
Hire one guy, get him to watch AEW and report back to Vince on what's happening. Because Vince ain't going to watch it himself. Trips will watch it.
Yeah.
Trips will have an eye on it because Trips is clever. Stephanie won't. Stephanie will just be really ready to see how she can make another historic announcement for the women, because that's what fucking Steph does. Right, second question from Mike. If you had to tell a non-WWE viewer to invest in one storyline in history, which one do you tell them to watch?
Oh. You go first.
Triple H and Shawn Michaels. The story of how they were together in DX. Triple H stabbed him in the back when they did the reunion. They had their feud of some of the best matches in wrestling history, including some of the pure wrestling matches, stipulation matches, street fights, and how they had that feud, got past it, came together again as DX to be involved in them matches with the Undertaker. And I think this Triple H Shawn Michaels story arguably ended when Shawn Michaels retired. Possibly actually 2 years later when he was the special guest referee. And I think that story of them being so emotionally invested with each other, whether they were across the ring or next to the ring or whatever, and that's what sells wrestling for me. Emotional connection, and that is what I get from that. Go and watch it. Go and watch it now, people.
I have got two. I've got one silly one and one serious one. Silly one, Kane and The Undertaker when Kane first appeared. And Kane chokeslammed The Undertaker onto his dead mum.
Yeah, we're not trying to put them off wrestling, man. We're not trying to put them off it.
Anyway, the serious one would be Stone Cold versus Bret Hart. The double turn, man. The double turn, and Bret Hart was sick of this new babyface attitude. And he was all Canada, and Austin was just the heel, but he was getting cheered. And then the double turn and the finish.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
Absolutely amazing match. One of the best matches in WrestleMania history. So another really good. Another one that I would consider saying to get invested in, purely for you have to go in with a clear mind and understand what you're watching. But the Bret and Shawn rivalry.
Yeah.
That
was what I was going to say initially, but
yeah, that's what we built the Attitude Era on, and the Attitude Era was the most successful part of wrestling. Also, Rock and Hogan or Rock and Austin, very good stories.
Yeah. Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker.
Oh, the story of Shawn wanting to have that win. There's so many amazing stories out there.
Yeah.
Matt Hardy and Edge, because it was real. Oh, I got to pick one. I'm still going for Triple H and Shawn Michaels. Such a great story. Eddie overcoming Brock to win the title.
Yeah. It's good, man.
Oh, reminiscing here. These are some great stories. Thanks. All right, next question. Will this podcast in the future stick solely to WWE going forward, or will there be also a section in regards to AEW as it continues to build up steam? Right. Here's the thing, guys. There is a very direct correlation between how good a show does and how many listeners we'll get talking about it.
Yeah.
Hence why, as much as we love it, we don't talk about Progress or Ring of Honor or Future Shock or BWR or Impact, because if
New Japan.
New
Just gonna pull that out. I was waiting for you to say it.
Because if not many people are watching them, then not many people, a smaller percentage of that will want to hit into two idiots on the internet talking about it.
Yeah.
We talk about WWE because that is everyone's first exposure to wrestling. Apart from if you're Japanese and you live in Japan, then you will grow up watching New Japan. But everyone's first exposure to wrestling is probably Vince. Big Vince's House of Muscles. Yeah. So we talk about that, 'cause regardless whether you love it or hate it, it is the biggest company in the world.
Yeah.
It is the big best at what it does. And that's what we love. We love WWE. In future, if, like Mike has said, AEW specifically, if AEW gets that sort of success, and gets that sort of following, and it is a genuinely brilliant product week after week, then by all means we'll talk about it.
Yeah. Just pointing out that we might do something on the website
Yeah,
covering it.
yeah, that's a good idea. Also, if you want more different shows on different podcasts on different shows, keep tuning in and listening. Let us know that you want.
Let us know.
Let us know if you want an AEW show when it comes out. We can do an AEW show.
Yeah.
But from a standpoint of people trying to run a business, we can only do it if it's sustainable.
Yeah.
To be really boring and have a really honest answer. I mean,
we do talk about them. We've
have.
brought them up loads of times today. How many times have we talked about New Japan and Progress in the past?
Yeah.
So we do talk about them.
we are. Don't think that just because we don't talk about things, we aren't fans of them.
Oh, yeah.
I am one of the biggest Progress fans I've ever met, but it's not viable and sustainable to talk about it after we go to every show and every. Whereas there's millions of people that watch WWE and will want to hear about WWE and might find our podcast entertaining. But if you don't watch Progress yourself, you're not going to listen to a Progress thing. That's it. What do you think of the AEW Casino Battle Royale idea that they were doing at Double or Nothing? Have you seen this? Have you seen this match?
I have seen a glimpse of it.
Right, I'll tell you the first bit, and you tell me what it sounds like. There's going to be 21 entrants, which will enter at different times in an over-the-top rope battle royal, with the winner getting a title shot. What does it sound like?
Well, that's obvious.
Sounds like the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
The difference is 20 all. There's going to be a pack of 21 cards. There'll be 5 diamond cards, 5 club cards, 5 spade cards, and 5 heart cards, and 1 joker. 21 wrestlers will all draw a card each, and then whoever 5 wrestlers are that say draw hearts will start in the ring, right? And that will start the match. Then after 3 minutes, the 5 wrestlers that drew diamonds will all enter the ring. Then on 6 minutes, whoever drew all the people that drew clubs, and on 9 minutes, all the people that drew spades. And then on 12 minutes, the one guy that drew the joker will enter on his own. Meaning, basically, he'll have the best chance because he's fresh, he'll come in, everyone's knackered. Or he'll come in on his own and get absolutely destroyed.
It is very good.
Oh, it's screaming of TNA.
I like it. I like it. I really do like it. But I will say, for a casual viewer who's, don't really watch wrestling a lot at all, tuning in, that is confusing to fuck.
I just think, and right, going back to the previous question, big WWE guy, always happy to WWE guy. For something that's building itself and a company that's making itself known as the alternative, they have just copied a WWE idea. Regardless of the entry system, regardless of what they're doing, they could have done anything.
I want to agree.
They could have done anything, but they're doing an over-the-top rope battle royal to find a number 1 contender. And it looking at the wording of everything, they're going to be doing it every year. That's the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, it is. But the problem is, you have any battle royal in any situation, and it's going to be Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Even WWE, when they have battle royals, it's a Royal Rumble.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
In terms of staggered entrance, time intervals, the one guy coming in on his own to have the advantage, a yearly thing where the winner gets a shot at the title. If you're building your company as being different and the alternative and we're not like the others, don't do something which is so similar. They could have done anything. They could have done a gauntlet match.
Yeah.
Do on one night, do a 21-man gauntlet match.
Oh, that would be difficult.
Yeah. But do you know what I mean? The ideas are there. You don't have to just do the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, I understand. It's just a bit easy. We'll put a battle royal in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everyone on the card. It's easy.
No problem having a battle royal like the Andre battle royal, or like at All In they had the over the budget battle royal. I get that. Get the people in there, do a battle royal, but to have it so similar to the Royal Rumble for a title shot, it just screams of, okay, that's a Cody idea, isn't it? Because he can rely on it, and he's put this twist on it. It's a bit Russo-y, this twist. Do you know what I mean?
I like the twist, though, gotta say.
It'll be interesting to see how it works. Do you know what I mean? It's just them trying to redo the Royal Rumble. But the Royal Rumble is one of the few match chapters that doesn't need redoing. There's no harm in doing the Royal Rumble, but not in a company that's pitching itself to be different.
Yeah.
Right, next. I'll bring it up. Where do you think Vince needs to realise the company needs fresh ideas and will finally give full control to the main roster to Hunter? The day he will give the full control of the main roster to Hunter will be 2 days after he dies, when they reveal what's in his will.
Yeah.
And even then it'll be Stephanie and Hunter.
Yeah. And he'll have plans even then.
Oh, it's going to be written into his will that Roman Reigns needs a certain amount of title wins, isn't it? In terms of...
He'll have like pages and pages and pages of storyline.
Yeah. And they're going to have to sit there and listen to them in that attorney meeting. Do you know what I mean? When they go and read his will, it's like that thick.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, and then Roman, and then Roman, and then Roman. In terms of when Vince will realise the company needs new ideas, when people stop going to shows.
Well, people stop going to shows now.
Huh? They've sold out the European tour. The day the show starts and there's 4 people in the front row, you've got a problem.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I don't... It's really hard to say, because in the past, Vince has been that guy that realises he needed to change. He couldn't keep going down the Hogan route.
I think he knows it.
He just doesn't know what that change is.
Yeah, he just doesn't want it to be not Roman.
I don't think that's... I don't think it's unfair to say, oh, that's shit. Do you know what I mean? That's worded badly. I just think that he's a big... It's not like he's doing it to piss us off. He's just a big fan of Roman Reigns. And Roman Reigns is an amazing guy. It's just, I think he's been handled...
It's easy to see it. It's easy to see why Roman Reigns is that guy. His mainstream appeal is huge.
Yeah, it is. I think rather than fresh ideas, Vince just needs to realise maybe that we need to try different things with different people.
I think he does realise that. And I will counter this with the fact that a lot of people have been pointing out on social media that we've got everything we wanted and we're still not happy.
Well, that's Sami Zayn's next promo, isn't it?
It's a legit point.
The problem is... going back, I know we always seem to end up, when we talk about Booker, we talk about Roman, and they always push down our throats. But the Roman Reigns story with Brock Lesnar was a perfect story.
Yeah.
With the wrong guy. If that had been AJ or Seth, if Seth had that story to beat Lesnar, he would have been a bigger star than he is now.
Yeah.
But like you say, I think Vince is scared of it not being Roman because he's put a lot of stock in Roman.
Yeah.
And I think he's scared of him not working out.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll ever hand over full control until the day he dies.
No, I don't. Even then, I honestly do believe he'll have stuff.
I don't think he'll go down the route of having set storylines and things, but I think he will... It is probably worrying that... I don't think he'll hand control of the company to Hunter. I think Hunter will probably get more and more creative control.
Yeah.
I don't think Hunter will ever be the sole vice president of creative. Because I think, please take this as a compliment, Internet, and please take this as a compliment, Stephanie, but Stephanie is a lot like her dad.
Yeah.
And Stephanie will want to have a finger in all pies. Not because she doesn't trust people to do it, and not because I'm the first person to say that she wants credit for everything, and not for that reason. I just think that she'll want to be involved as much as she can be, because her life and her soul and her heart is WWE.
Yeah.
And that's the same for Vince. It's not Vince going, no, we'll do it my way. It's Vince wanting to try and manage everything.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he's letting some plates drop. I'm loving these questions, Mike. These are great. With the reports of the next Saudi Arabia pay-per-view having the returning golden oldies such as Taker, Brock and Goldberg, where do you see them fitting in? I would put them in a triple threat against each other and then ignore them for the rest of the show.
Yes. And have Sting drop in on his wire.
Hit one death drop and go again.
Yeah.
I think we'll probably heading towards another, not necessarily 50 man, but some sort of battle royal, aren't we? Maybe
I could see Brock and Goldberg going out here again.
Just 1v1.
Yeah.
With no build whatsoever.
No build whatsoever, just like this last year. Can't remember what the match was there.
Oh, it was a couple of years ago at Survivor Series, wasn't it? When he beat him in a few seconds.
No, I mean, not Brock and Goldberg. There was something else last year, though. There was just like, oh, this was thrown together. Undertaker and Triple H.
Oh, yeah, I suppose.
It's going to be like that. Taker is... he'll probably just appear. Not have a match in a segment or something.
I think you'll have a match maybe against someone. It'll literally be big boot, into the corner, punch, 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 old school, tombstone, 1, 2, 3. See you at WrestleMania.
Yeah. So that's what the Saudi Arabia, whatever the guy wants. So.
Sands of Time.
Yeah.
That's what it's going to be called. In terms of Saudi Arabia, the shows are shit, but you can't blame Vince when making that deal, can you? Whatsoever.
Not at all.
Right, we're going to do one more. Mike's got one more WWE related question, and he's asked us little personal questions to get to know us a bit better. Isn't that nice of him?
That's nice of him.
Who is your favourite underdog wrestler? Someone within the WWE, past or present, who will never be a top guy, but you would love to see a lot more of him, maybe winning mid-card titles. Obviously, Mike's was Zack Ryder. I'll let you go first this time, man. Who you got?
Come on, man.
Sami Zayn.
No.
Mine's Sami Zayn.
No.
Who?
Kairi Sane. You really didn't think it was going to be anyone else?
I thought he might have said someone else. I thought he might give it a bit of thought.
Okay, if it's not Kairi, then Andrade.
It's a good call. Do you think Andrade needs something soon?
He
Needs that briefcase?
needs that briefcase, man. He's going to get it.
It's not, is it?
I swear to God, if he wins that, I'm gonna blow through the roof.
Yeah. I think, actually, I think I'm picking Sami Zayn, because Sami Zayn has done a lot in his time.
I'd love to see Sami Zayn.
But he's never had that step-up moment.
Yeah.
We thought last week we talked about, is Sami making the steps this week? And then
a
day later he got squashed and he got murdered by Braun Strowman.
he got murdered literally on live TV.
And then a day later than that, he got a WWE title shot. And for a split second, I thought he'd won it off that Blue Thunder Bomb. And I thought, oh, here we go. But no. I think if Sami just had a bit of validation to his character now.
Yeah.
I mean, the briefcase, he's not in the match, but the briefcase would have been perfect.
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to dictate to the fans.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give you what you want. You will get what you're given when I give it to you. I'm not going to cash in when you want. I will cash in when I want. I think that'd be brilliant. But Andrade is a good call. Same sort of arguments as well.
I just think it just fits. Is the future. It keeps saying is the future. Giving the briefcase. Look what it did to Seth.
Yeah.
So it really could be the making of him in going up to that main event.
In terms of Money in the Bank this year, just on a sidetrack, do you think we're in for a long time with the guy holding the briefcase? Is he going to cash it in that night?
What happened last year?
Braun cashed it in ahead of Hell in a Cell, and then Brock Lesnar screwed him.
Probably going to be a long one.
Do you think a long one?
Yeah, I think.
I'm thinking end of the year.
we haven't had a long one in a while.
But usually since there's been a men's and a woman's, usually one of them cashes in relatively quick. Like Alexia cashed in straight away, didn't she?
Yeah. Which was the most forgettable.
Alexa's forgettable at the minute.
She's very forgettable at the minute. But she'll come back, I'm sure of it.
I think we're looking at someone holding the briefcase till maybe the end of the year.
Yeah.
And then maybe a cash in to set up WrestleMania feuds, or at Mania to set up the next feuds.
It's just unfortunate it's going to be Drew.
I don't know. I wouldn't hate Drew getting it, you know.
I wouldn't hate it. It's just, it could have been Andrade.
Can you imagine an absolute slugfest, an absolute barn burner match between AJ Styles and Seth Rollins, where they're both knackered, bloody, and they stand in the ring, shake each other's hands because Seth retained, and then the bagpipes go off. And he's like, oh, for fuck's sake. That is how you make him a star again, because Drew's taken some losses. The more he lays down for Roman Reigns, the less of a star he is, but that is how you make him a star again, an impactful cash-in after an impactful win. Right, let's get this personal question out of the way, and I think this is one you're going to like. What are your 3 favourite singular movies of all time? You can't cop out with whole series such as Ben saying Harry Potter, and has to answer as singular movies.
Off the top of my head,
Yeah.
Saving Private Ryan being one.
No. No, I'm just saying they're not. That's not in mine.
You can't have trilogies or anything like that.
No, it has to be a single movie.
Single
Mike's
film.
saying.
Say your one.
Fight Club.
Fight Club.
We're going to go back and forth.
No. Because I can't think.
It's Fight Club, Back to the Future Part 2.
That's part of a...
No, that's an individual film, though. Like Back to the Future Part 2, the second one.
Yeah, but it's still part of a
No,
franchise.
you can pick an individual film from a franchise. You just can't pick the franchise as one entry.
Oh, okay.
You can pick...
Oh, bloody hell, okay.
You can pick Matrix 1, 2 and 3 if you want.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. Fight Club, Back to the Future Part 2. Oh, God.
He was going to say it.
I'm changing my mind. Shawshank Redemption.
I'm going to go with Lord of the Rings 2 Towers,
Mm.
The Dark Knight, and... slap Saving Private Ryan in there.
See, I know why you're asking, Mike, because you were expecting one of us to say Endgame, because a lot of people have immediately gone, best film ever! It's brilliant. You've not seen it yet, have you?
No, I've still not seen it.
It's a lot of fan service, and it's very, very good, and it's a very good film. It is one of the best, purely for entertainment value and the fan service and the happily ever after. But you just can't beat the classics.
Yeah.
You just can't. You can't beat stuff like Back to the Future Part 2. The reason I always get into this discussion, the reason I say Part 2 and not Part 1 is because it's very, very clever how Part 2 happens at the same time as Part 1, and you see glimpses of Part 1 all the way through it. And you sort of look back and you go, I'm going to have to go watch Part 1 again now, just to see where it all fits in. Absolutely fantastic. It's not necessarily the better story, but it is the better filmmaking experience, if you know what I mean.
Do I have to explain mine?
If you want to.
I mean, they're pretty self-explanatory, really. I mean, The Two Towers is the best one out of the three, even though the other two was completely outstanding. Outstanding! I mean, the battle scenes alone at Helm's Deep was just, oh my god. Oh, and then Gandalf riding down them. Oh my god! And then The Dark Knight from front to back was just one of the best films you'll ever see, cinematically, and the way it was produced and everything like that. The dialogue and the script was just out of this world, and the acting as well. And Saving Private Ryan, Saving Private Ryan.
Can't argue that, can you? That's all you can say to sum that one up. It's absolutely brilliant. So yeah, Mike. I hope you are happy that we finally answered some of your questions. This is where he sends us a shitload more for next week. That's what it's going to be. He's very, very, very big fan. He did go on to say that he's very invested in the podcast. I read out his message. There's quite a nice message from him. He said, I'm bombarding you lads with questions, but I've invested in your podcast and enjoy your content, so keep up the great work. To the whole team, from the front men of Ben and Jack to the new additions on the website, and I'm sure Lindsay has to work hard keeping Ben in check because I don't know if people know, but Mike is actually a friend of ours and he's a friend of the family. But he did want us. He kept saying to me that we don't answer his questions, so he sent us a load of questions to answer. So I hope you're happy, Michael.
Yeah, boy.
Right, there's one more thing we need to talk about.
What's that?
Bray Wyatt.
Bray
Wyatt. Because somebody has pointed out a theory online which I think is quite interesting. We're not going to dwell on the whole, I would put a line into 5 promos to make a separate promo back in 2000. That was brilliant, by the way. Has anyone found it?
No, as I can recall.
Apparently there was something in the Undertaker stuff about... Oh, 1 second, talking about yourself. I'm going to Google it now. Right, I've looked for it. It's probably there somewhere, but I found something even better that I need to show you. This has literally just come up on a Hooked on Wrestling site. At tonight's house show, WWE's running in Liverpool. You probably know, people at home, and me and Jack are quite big football fans. Liverpool finished second in the Premier League today. It went down to the last day, and Manchester City took the title on the last day. Elias has just walked out in Liverpool in a Man City kit. Can the man get heat from anything? He knows how to get heat, doesn't he?
I will say right now, people thought last year was bad when he did that,
with Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
Oh, he'll get booed out of the arena.
This is going to be absolutely insane. Someone needs to video this.
I know we're not live, so this is going to go out afterwards. But if you're there and you've got a video of this, of the heat that he's going to get wearing a Man City kit, because his promo's going to be about that as well. Yeah. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Please send it to us.
He's going to get like death threats and stuff.
Oh, he will. He will. The Scousers are idiots. They can't think, so this is what they're going to do. If you're there and you've got a video...
Sorry if you're a Scouser and you're listening.
Oh, I'm not. If you're there and you've got a video of Elias in this kit doing a promo, please can you send it to us because we are dying to see it. You'll get a massive shout out on the podcast, and we'll love you forever. Basically, put it that way. All right, the Bray Wyatt thing. He sent out a promo saying, "Fun game. Bet you didn't know. In 2015, I did 8 consecutive backstage promos where one sentence didn't belong in each of them, but together they make up a secret message. No one ever found it. So this sent the internet into meltdown. Some dark guy claimed on Reddit that he'd found something in the Undertaker stuff about... I can't quite remember what it was about. His hands may have created this world, but mine will destroy it. Limbo is no place for a soul like yours. I'm waiting for you." Something along them lines. But then Bray has tweeted again saying, "Clue number 5, the lines are in order, but it's not me talking to you. It was talking to me. The message came from me subconsciously." Right, 1, brilliant use of Twitter.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. 2, any idea what he's on about?
No, not a clue.
Have you even looked? I've not looked.
No.
I'm just waiting. Apparently he's now said on Twitter that he will reveal it this week. Whether that means on Twitter or in the Funhouse, I do not know. But the theory I was alluding to at the start of this massively long segment that we're drawing out, not to fill time at all, the Bird Raptor, whatever his name is, had dead Rambling Rabbit in his box.
He did.
Somebody's put it out online that vultures, which is what it is, sorry, not Bird Raptor, don't kill things.
No.
They pick the bones. And when Bray realised what he'd done, the hurt glove flashed up. So the theory is that Bray killed Rambling Rabbit, and then the vulture was just eating the bones because that's what vultures do. Hinting to this dark undertone in this head case that Bray can be underneath.
Yeah.
What do you think?
It's very good.
Oh, I hope it's true.
That's the case.
I
wish I didn't know.
Did it what, that?
Yeah.
Why?
I wish I didn't find out until it... You know.
Yeah, but it's not no spoilers, is it? It's nothing we didn't already know.
Yeah.
It's just very interesting how they've used a vulture and Abby Witch, which is the worst name for a witch ever. He's still impressed by it. He's still liking this segment.
Loving it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Gotta go. They've got to do something with it.
Big time.
And do you think it's something to do with Randy Orton? Because he's referenced him a few times.
Has he?
He did the painting of the house, then he did a tweet about it.
Oh, yeah. No.
No, nothing to do with Randy. I hope it's something to do with Randy. Where do you think it's ended up? Raw or SmackDown?
Raw.
Are you hoping or are you knowing?
I'm not knowing anything. I believe that's what he'll do.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you doing your hair like Bray's now? Or? Sorry,
I like
man.
to fidget.
That's twice I've mentioned your hair and hair. I know you don't like it. Oh, right, that might be all the time we've got for you tonight, guys. You had a good show? You had a good night? Are you looking forward to your move?
My move next week is going to be interesting, and we've got Money in the Bank next week. So
Yes, we're looking forward to that. So next week we will be back with our Money in the Bank predictions, where we'll go up against each other and to make some predictions, see who can get as many right.
Yeah.
Chris will be back next week to talk about more about Money in the Bank in some form of capacity, I'm sure. We'll answer more of your questions. So until then, thank you for listening, guys.